It is error. Why private members cannot be accessed even within the subclass? Can I access private member outside the class? Maybe somewhere here? No, not possible. Understood? So am I done with private? Am I done with public? Now what is protected? Protected member is what? I. It can be accessed here. Perfectly correct. It can be accessed within this class. Yes, protected member I can be accessed within the subclass. Can I access protected member? That is I here? No, it is an error. That is, protected members can be accessed only within the subclass and not outside the class. Did you get it? See, there is some data which is, let's take for example yourself as students. Some data you share it with everyone, with your me, your class teacher, your parents, everything. That is like public data. Some data you share only with your friends. It is like protected, wherein you are sharing only with them. There are some data you don't share it with anyone, you use it for yourself. That is private. Did you get it now? What is private? What is public? What is protected? Yeah, give me a. When I started my classes earlier, I had told protected I will teach you when I will be doing inheritance. So today I taught you what is protected. Any doubts here? Shall I continue? Okay. So Saad is saying what? So protect can be accessed within its class and the subclass. Yes, Saad, correct. Within the class and the subclass. I'll go with this. Okay. Let me start off this one. Imagine now, can you see my screen? How many classes are there? And what are those classes? See the problem? Unless and until you see the screen, see if it was on board, I could have written and asked her. But now, unless you understand what is there on the document, you will not be able to get that. At least tell me how many classes are there. Number, 3 classes. Okay, Shrisha. Does someone disagree with that? Sir, I'm not asking about me. My only question is how many classes, sir. What is there within the class? I'm not bothered. Sambhav Jain, 2 classes. Okay, which are those 2 classes? How come 2 classes and 1 subclass, sir? Okay. See, when the question is how many classes, how come, man, Abhishek, there are 2 subclasses? Which are those 2 subclasses? Till now, I got an answer. There are 3 classes. Then 2 classes and 1 subclass. You are the only one giving 1 class and 2 subclasses. So Abhishek, according to you, class one is class, this one is a main class. Class A is a subclass. Okay, which is it is a subclass of what is the parent of this class A? Oh God. Jai, 1 class and 1 subclass. Okay, stop all. This shows how much you have understood, how much you know about classes. Now, how many class definitions are there? Leave of inheritance, what you have learnt. Or let me explain. Otherwise, you'll give me answers like this for the whole day. Now, there is one class definition here. So this is my first class. First one. It begins here, it ends here. See, don't consider if a class has a main, if it has a method, if it has a data member. Nothing is important. A class, let it have anything or everything. There is a class, does it follow the rules? That's it. Here, there is only one data member, and that is a special data member main. So I have, this is one class with only one member function, that is main. Let's not see what is within it. Let's take class. The other one is, it begins here and ends here. So first class. Then I have another class here, class and A. So yes, this is my second class. Now, is this a subclass of some class? No, it is only independent class, class A. What is within this? Let's not worry, but okay, for your understanding, if this is a method here, it is a constructor. So I have only one constructor here within this class A. So it begins here, it ends here. So this is my second class. Let's come here. Class B extends A. Ma'am, is this a class or a subclass? See, first of all, the name of this is my third class by name class B. When I say subclass, it is not a type of class. It means that this class B is taking some properties of A. See, let's take yourself a child. Now your parents are there. So as one individual, you have your own properties. When I say you inherit the properties from your parent, yes, you are individuals, you are taking some properties. But do you say that? But in general, it is a separate entity. The same thing here. Class 3 is the third class. Only when I say or add this term extends A, it means that it is taking the properties from A, or it is reusing the properties of A. So in this example, you have three classes. One, multi-level default constructor, then you have class A, then you have class B. But B is a special class or a child class which takes the properties or extends the properties of A. Did you understand now? Any doubts? How many classes now? Three classes, but yes, between B and A, there is a relationship. B is a child of A. Okay, shall I proceed? Let me, for time being, comment this. Okay, fine. So class A is there, class B is here. Public static void main. What will be the name of this class? If I type this within one Java program, let's say in your code blocks, Java program, you type this. What will be the name of the program? Can someone say? The name of the program will be multi-level default constructors.java, because the class which has the main will be the name. Yes, Shreya. when I run the program. Yeah, good. So now I hope all of you understood. Let me continue. Public static void main, I run this program, system.out.println. So first it will print this line. Then when I create an object of type A, of class A, so whenever an object is created, constructor is called by default. Agreed? So constructor gets called, it goes here, created A, it prints, that is output comes like this. And again I have a line, yes, I am done. Next statement, all of you please observe. This statement. All of you are on the same line? What am I creating? I am creating an object of type B. Yes? So, whenever an object is created, Altaf, I'll answer your question later. Whenever an object of this class B is created, constructor gets called. So yes, after this, immediately from here, my control goes to this one, right? The constructor should be called and I should get a message created B. But if B is a child class, what happens is before calling the child class constructor, it calls the parent class constructor. So before printing created B, it calls the parent class constructor. Now, which is the parent of B? Parent of B is A. Agreed? Parent of B is A. So it goes to the constructor of A. So constructor of A, so here it comes. So when I come constructor of A, what does the constructor of A do? It prints created A. No audio. For everyone it is the same. Okay, for those who are having a problem, please reconnect. I will not I will try to minimize the movement on my screen. So maybe that's why. Please reconnect. I'll give 2 minutes time. Let them reconnect because this is what I wanted to explain. Okay. Assuming all of you have reconnected. See, please understand this. This is one of the very important topic. Whenever there is inheritance involved, whenever you create an object of a subclass, it first invokes the constructor of the base class and then the its own constructor. So when I created an object of type B, it should invoke the constructor of the base B, right? Before invoking the constructor of this B, it will invoke the constructor of the base class, that is A. So it will first print the statement created A. So that is why first statement created A will come and then it will invoke its own constructor and that will print created B. See, whenever you create an object of the subclass, in this example, whenever I create an object of class B, it will first invoke the constructor of the base class. So the first constructor of the base class is A, and it will invoke that, do the base class constructor job, and then invoke its own constructor, that is B. So first you will get within the output, if you see, when you created an object of B, you will have two statements, created A and then created B. Did you understand this? Yes, Sambhav, I'll get back to that. What is super? I will teach you. See, it is not doubling the outputs are. Constructor of A will be doing some other job and constructor of B will be doing the some other job. Both the constructors are not one and the same. Someone said about super, I will explain super, because before explaining super, I had to explain this. That's why I'm taking my time. Sir, A is done twice because I have created an object of A before that. See, this is what I created, an object of type A. That's why you got the first output, this one. So if this is not there, then it will not come. When you execute this statement, B is equal to new B, you will get only this. So it is not, A is not done twice. Fine. Let me go ahead. I'm going too slow. It's already 10:50. Shall I? Okay. I'll give you list. Fine. Types of inheritances. There are 5 types of inheritance. Can you see my screen, all of you? This is an image, so might take time. Okay. Yeah, there are 5 types of inheritance. First is the single inheritance. So single inheritance, wherein a class inherits the properties of another class. So there is one superclass and one subclass. So here class A is a superclass and class B is the subclass. I can write it like this: class A, class B extends A. So this is what example I gave. You can have another type of inheritance by name multi-level inheritance. See, here there is one thing, the arrow it is shown here, that is taken as the superclass, but it can also be a vice versa. In some of the diagrams, the arrow which is pointing to becomes the subclass also. So it depends upon how the user has given the analogy. So in the net I searched it, so they say both ways can be used. So in this example I have used as class A will be the superclass and B will be the subclass. So in multi-level inheritance, what happens is there is more than one level of inheritance involved. Like for example, I have class A, then I have class B inheriting the properties of A, then I have a class C which inherits B. So what happens in that case? In that case, C inherits the properties of B, which so C will have the properties of both B and A. How, ma'am? Let's take, for example, the same thing, I write it here. Assume, I'll not follow the syntax. Assume A as I. and B has J, data member J. But from A, will it not get I? So from A, it will get I also. Let's assume class C. Class C has its own member K, but it extends B, right? So it inherits the properties of B. B has properties what? Its own element J and from A, I. So C will have I, J as well as K. So this is known as multi-level inheritance. Did you understand the diagram? A has I, B has J and C has K. When I say class B extends A, class B gets member I from A, and C extends B means C gets the properties of B. So along with K, it will get I and J. So this is known as multi-level inheritance. Then you have hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance means class A, class B will extend A, and here I can write it as class C extends A. Fine. So this is hierarchical inheritance. B extends A and C also extends A. Then you have multiple inheritance. It means that class C inherits the properties. There are two classes. Let's say there is another class B here. So this is multiple inheritance. That is, a class is extending or taking properties from more than one class. Class C inherits the properties from A and class C inherits the properties from B. So this is multiple inheritance. Hold on if you have doubts. You have hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance means if an inheritance involves more than one type. Like here, I have hierarchical as well as multiple inheritance. So if it is a combination of more than one type of inheritance, we call it as hybrid inheritance. In Java, multiple and hybrid inheritance are not supported. You have single inheritance, you have multi-level inheritance, and you have hierarchical inheritance. Multiple and hybrid is not supported in Java. Yes, they are supported in C++. One of the difference between C++ and Java is C++ supports multiple inheritance, whereas Java does not support it. Why? There are problems of multiple inheritance. You can go through it. It has its own difficulties and problems. That's why it was left out in Java. So what, ma'am, if I want to inherit from more than one class? To support that, Java has a concept known as interfaces, which you will learn in the coming classes. So Java does not support multiple inheritance as it is. It supports that through a concept known as interfaces. Yeah, did you get this types of inheritance? Actually, this types of inheritance is not there in your syllabus, but it was there for C++ actually. So some of the question papers, there was a question on types of inheritance. That is the only reason I wanted to do this. Done? Can I continue? Sath, if you see this example here, you will understand what is multi-level inheritance. So I'm making the changes in the program. I want you to tell what will be the output of this program. So this is what the program is. Can you see it on your screen? Within main, there is only one object C, which is of type class C. You're giving your answers. I'm seeing that. Some say it is created A, created B, created C. So Harsh Jain comes to that answer. Created A, B, and C. Many of you have said. Altaf says only created B and created C. Okay, fine. Let me trace the program. I say A, C is equal to new C. So whenever an object is created, constructor gets called. So the constructor of C should get called. So control comes to my this statement. So control comes to my this statement. Yeah. But I see here C extends from which class? B. So base class of C is B. So yes, it goes to first it came here, but I see B is a subclass of C is a subclass of B. So it goes to B. Then I see B is a subclass of A. So it goes back to A. So when it comes to here, is A is a subclass of anything? No, it is only an independent class. It will print created A. Once it is finished with the execution of constructor of A, it comes back to the previous statement what it executed, that was B. So B's constructor, superclass constructor is over. So its own statement will be created B. So first it printed created A, then it printed created B. Now this was called in turn by C. So here C, it will print created C. This is the last statement. So it finishes its execution, comes out. So your output will be created A, B, and C. After that, this line. Did you understand? Object C is created. So constructor of C is called. In the constructor of C, it sees that it has a superclass. So first the superclass constructor is called, yes or no. So the superclass of B, C is B, so it calls this. But again, B is a subclass of some class, so it goes to A. So in A, it does not have any superclass, so it calls created A first, then comes back to created B, then it goes to created C. Okay, sir. Fine, 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 fine. Did you all get? Dear last Sri Lakshmi, I told you right. Whenever I call a constructor of a subclass is called, it automatically calls the base class constructor. Don't get confused with super. I will teach you super. Don't worry. Fine. Shall I go ahead? I think now I have to teach you what is super. But do you have a knowledge of what is this? How the constructors are invoked? Only then I'll teach you super. Okay, fine. For those who have never heard of this term super, there is a keyword called super, super. There are two uses of this super. One is to invoke a base class constructor and the other to access a base class member. I want you to look at this example very well. Those who are not able to follow, you can write down this example if you want to. I have a class by name class box. Okay. Okay, I have made it like this. Okay, fine. Let's not take it as private. Let's take it as public. Okay. There are three members. I hope those who are in B section will know this example. I've taken it n number of times. So I have a class box and I have three members within that. It is W, H and D. Please write it down if you want. Now, what is this? Yeah, it is a constructor. Why? It has the same name as the class name, class box. Agreed. Then I have another method here by name box. Is this a constructor? First of all, is it possible? Yes, it is possible because I am overloading the constructor. Here, this is the constructor which is not taking any parameters. Here it is a constructor which is taking a single parameter which is of type double. Fine. Here again I have another constructor which is taking an argument which is of type box. Now, is it possible? I have two constructors, one taking one single parameter which is of type double and the other taking a different parameter of type box. Possible or not possible? These two. Overloading is possible in these two cases. This and this possible. Yes, because they are of different types. Fine. Then I have another constructor which takes three parameters. So how many constructors are there? One. So this is one. Please understand this example. If you're not understanding this example, you will never understand super. That's why you people are all getting confused with this super keyword. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Agreed. There are four constructors. There are four constructors. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Are you all in the same page? Fine. Four constructors done. I have another member function by name volume, which calculates the volume, that is nothing but W into H into D. Fine. my class ends here. So I have one class box which has 3 members, WH and D. I have 4 constructors and 1 member function, volume. Any doubts in this? Shall I go further? Now I have another class by name box weight. So I have a class box weight, but I say this class box weight extends box. So it inherits the properties of box. So from box, what and all will it get? It will get W, H, D as well as volume. Fine. Now, for this box weight, how many base class constructors are there? 4. Agreed? Yes or no? Fine. So if I create an object, or I will explain that. Okay. So let's take this box weight. I hope now you have all understood what is this class box weight, and it extends. It is a subclass of class box and it got these members. It has its own data member weight. Now box weight also has its own constructor. Now what are its constructors? One is this one. I'm doing this only for your understanding. Fine. So it has 2 constructors. Agreed? Yes. I create an object like this. Go to this statement now. Box weight OB1 is equal to new box. When I create an object of this subclass, what it will do? What will it do? It will invoke the constructor. What is the invoke constructor? Box weight. Please see here. But box weight is a subclass of box. So it should invoke the constructor of box. Yes or no? Now, to invoke the constructor of box, there are 4 constructors. Agreed? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which one will it invoke? By default, it will invoke the default constructor without any parameter. Yes, Harsh Jain, it is correct. It will invoke this one. Now you all know this. I hope, did you all understand? Yes or no? So by default, it will invoke the default constructor with 0 parameters. This is called. Assume I don't want to invoke the default constructor. I want to invoke the second constructor, that is this one. How will I do that? I can explicitly invoke a base class constructor by using super. That is, I can give a statement here by name super, and yes, if I want to do that, it takes a parameter which is of type double. Maybe I will give 2.3. Did you all get my point? So in order to invoke or override or the default constructor, I use super. So if this was not there, it would have called the default constructor. Because I'm explicitly saying call the super constructor or base class constructor with a single parameter 2.3, that is a parameter which takes of type double, it will invoke the second constructor here. So super is used for invoking a base class, explicitly invoking a base class constructor. If this was not there, it would have called the default constructor. Did you now get why do you use super? And if you don't use super also, base class, default base class constructor gets invoked. If you use super, you can explicitly call that. Similarly here, I have another box weight, and here I'm passing double of len and something like this. Here I'm using super of len. When I use that, it will call the super constructor which takes a single parameter. Suppose I want to call the constructor with 3 parameters, then I can use super and pass something like that, 2, 3 and 4. It will call the base class constructor with so many with that parameters and then the subclass. What will happen if this is not there? It will invoke the first constructor. Am I clear now? Those all of you who were getting confused with super, did you understand what does it mean now? Am I audible? Yes, Lakshmi, now did it clear your doubt about why super? Lakshmi, Shraddha, all of you. Okay, thank you. The other use of super is to access a base class member. Take this example here. I'll take another 5 minutes of yours and finish. Okay, don't worry. I have a class A and the member of class A is I. Okay, I have class B and it has a member I, and it has a constructor and it has a method show. So the members of A are I, the members of B are I, and show. But if you see, B extends A, that is, B inherits the properties of A. So B, along with I and show, has another data member by name I. That is, this please understand, in class B, there are 2 data members by name I. One data member which it gets from its own class, this one, and the other is the one which gets from its base, that is A. So in this example, B has 2 data members with the same name. They are different members in the sense they occupy different memory locations. So there are 2 different memory locations with the same name. So this I is with respect to class B and this I is with respect to class A. So ma'am, when I say I is equal to B, will it refer to the member with B or with member A? So only if I say I, it refers to this member of class B. If I say super of I, it means it refers to the base class member I. So super is used to access the base class members. Understood? That is, if I name it like this. Those who haven't understood, see the example again. B gets I and show its own members. From A, it gets I. So there are two different members with the same name. How do I access it? Only if I use I, am I referring to this one or am I referring to this one? If I use I, then it refers to this. If I say super dot I, it means it refers to the other one. So super along with dot and the data member always refers to the base class member. So the two uses of super are, super is used to access or the constructor of a base class or override this base class constructor, and super is used to access the base class members. So these are the two uses of super. Any doubts? Yeah, any doubts? Answer. Okay. So you have one more concept because I've already typed this. Let me finish it off. So what is method overloading? Same method name but with different parameters, right? Neha, I will answer your question. Give me some time, okay? Let me finish this concept. Fine. Now let's take the same example. I've only added a method show. So what are the members of A? Members of A are I as well as show. Agreed? Two members of A, I and show. Let's take class B. What are the members of class B? I and show. Now from class A, it inherits a member I, and now I have added another member show. Observe both the methods. Show. Return type is the same. Name of the function is the same. Parameters also is the same. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. There are two methods by name show with the same parameter list and with the same name. This is known as method overriding. Ma'am, can I have it within a single class? No. Method overriding comes into picture only in inheritance. Only in inheritance you can have method overriding. That is, both the base class and the subclass can have the same method name as well as the parameter list. Not only the same name. If it is only same name and different parameter list, it is method overloading. Yes, sir, void does not return anything. If the parameter list is different, then it is method overloading. But here, if you observe, show method has the same parameter list as well as the same name. So this is known as method overriding. Ma'am, if we do this and if we create an object of the, okay, let me say B OB is equal to new B, and I say OB dot show. Okay, tell me what will be the output. If I say B has two show methods, One is this show, the other is this show. Let me say I name it as 1 and I name this as 2. So when I call this as show, will it call first one? Will it call second one? Or will it do like constructor, call this show and then this show? Which one will it call? I will give the answer. It will call the second one. Yes. So this is method overriding. Method overriding, first of all, comes into picture. First, see the condition. Method overriding, don't ask doubts without that. Method overriding is possible only when there is inheritance. You cannot have another method here by the same name show with the same parameter list within class A. It will give you an error. It is possible only in two different classes where there is inheritance. And when there is inheritance involved, by default, the subclass will call its own overridden method. So it will not call the superclass show, but it will call the subclass show. So this is known as method overriding. You can check. Okay, Neha, your question is which constructor will it call? See, Neha, if there is no super, it will call the default constructor. Default constructor is a constructor without any parameters. Assume there is no default constructor which you have not defined. Then Java will provide its own default constructor which gets called. I hope you understood the answer. No, no, Shreya, you cannot call the. I think super.show will work, but I have to check. Only in some cases, some places they say it will work. Actually, this is what you're telling. Instead of calling this one, if I want to call the base class one, see, some places they say that using this super.show, it will work. But I have to check this. Because some places they say it will work and some places it will not work. Actually, I wanted to check it, but problem is I didn't have a Java IDE with me to test in my laptop. Okay. Yeah, Shraddha, that is what I said. 90% I'm sure it will work, but let me confirm. Because in some places they say, and sometime I've tested it, but I've forgotten. Let me check that. Yes, Altaf, what was your question? I didn't see your question. Where was it? Altaf, can you repeat your question? Okay, ma'am, if I want to call the parent class, then we have to declare. Yes, you have to declare an object of parent class, class A. I mean, you can declare an object of class A. Always, all the rules apply. Basic class details and object creation and invoking will always apply. There is no problem with that. These are the special things which you have. Okay, fine. I hope today you learned a lot of new concepts and maybe there are some doubts. You can go through it, go through any material, you'll get a better understanding. If any no other doubts, can I stop my session? Because I think you have a class again at 11:30, 11:45. stop at this. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, if there are no questions, I will wind up.